If you receive Social Security and you work part-time before reaching full retirement age, your monthly check can be reduced in 2026, starting with the first payment cycle after your earnings cross the limit. Many retirees are already losing cash flow this year without realizing why. Stay with me until the end of this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications now, because this is one of the most common and costly mistakes retirees make in 2026, and it keeps happening quietly. This is not a cut, and it is not permanent. But it does reduce the money you actually receive right now. The Social Security earnings test applies if you claim benefits early and continue working. If your income goes above the updated limits, Social Security withholds part of your benefit automatically. For retirees who rely on part-time work to stabilize their budget, this can break monthly cash flow with no warning. Many people assume they can work a little and stay safe. In 2026, that assumption is often wrong. Updated limits, payroll taxes, and tax rules interact in ways that are easy to miss and expensive to ignore. In the next minutes, we will go through the exact rules, the numbers that matter, and the planning mistakes that cause retirees to lose income they did not expect to lose. So you're thinking about retiring in 2026. That's fantastic. But here's the big question. Do you know what your real take-home pay is actually going to be? Well, it's more of a puzzle than you might think. And today, we're going to put all those pieces together for you. Look, we're not just going to talk about your gross Social Security check. This is all about the specific interconnected rules that figure out your net income. You know, the actual spendable cash that hits your bank account for your monthly budget. All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll break it down into 4 simple parts. First, we'll cover the key rules. Then we'll see how the whole system works. After that, we'll run through a real-world example. And finally, we'll dig into what it all means for your cash flow. Okay, let's dive right in. First up, the key rules and thresholds for 2026. These are the essential numbers you absolutely have to know as we build this out. Let's kick things off with a big one, the Social Security earnings test. Now, if you decide to claim benefits before your full retirement age, but you keep working, this rule is going to apply to you. The most important thing to remember here is that this withholding is temporary, but it directly hits your immediate month-to-month cash flow. Here is the first number you really need to have on your radar for 2026. If you're under your full retirement age for the entire year, the earnings limit is $24,480. Earn just $1 more than that, and the earnings test efficiently kicks in. Okay, but here's where things get a bit more interesting. In the specific calendar year that you actually reach your full retirement age, that limit jumps way up to $65,160. And this is where the math really changes depending on your situation. If you're under that first lower limit, they'll withhold $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above it. But in the year you hit your full retirement age, the rate is a lot more generous. It's $1 withheld for every $3 you earn over that higher limit. All right, next up is the taxable wage base for 26. It's gone up to $184,500. Now, this is simply the maximum amount of your earnings that's subject to Social Security payroll taxes. It's a key piece of the puzzle for your take-home pay if you're still working. And of course, we've got to talk about taxes, right? At the federal level, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be taxed, and all depends on something called your combined income. Now, there is a new deduction for those 65 and over that might help. But don't forget, some states also tax Social Security benefits, adding another important layer you have to navigate. Okay, so we've laid out all the individual rules. Now, let's connect the dots and see how this all works together as a system to directly impact your income. You can really see the domino effect here. It all starts when you earn income above the limit. That's step 1. Step 2, that triggers the earnings test and benefit withholding begins. At the same time, step 3, payroll taxes are taken out of your wages. And finally, step 4, federal and state income taxes get applied. It's a clear sequence that chips away at your in-pocket pay. Okay, theory is one thing, but let's put some numbers to this to make it real. We're going to walk through a hypothetical scenario to show you exactly how these rules play out, taking you from gross earnings down to your net reality. Let's imagine you're a retiree who's under full retirement age, and you're earning $34,480 for the year. That's exactly $10,000 over that lower limit. So the earnings test will withhold $5,000 of your benefits. And on top of that, you'll pay $2,638 in standard payroll taxes. As you can see, the hit to your immediate cash flow is pretty significant. So what does this all actually mean for your cash flow? Let's get practical and look at the real-world implications for your financial planning and your monthly budget. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Here's the bottom line. Your benefit amount does get recalculated years later, but that doesn't help you pay the bills today. The immediate reduction in your monthly income is what you absolutely have to plan for, and it can be a huge disruption if you aren't ready for it. So let's talk about the most common mistakes we see people make. Some people don't even know the earnings limits exist. Others think the benefit reduction is permanent, which it isn't. Many just overlook the combined hit from everything we've talked about: the withholding, the payroll taxes, and the income taxes. But honestly, the biggest mistake is just not planning for that disruption to your monthly cash flow. And this brings it all back to you. How do these intersecting rules really affect your financial plan?
Have you accounted for all of these different layers? Or could there be some potential surprises waiting for you down the road? If you take away just one single thing from our time together, please let it be this. Your focus has to be on your net income, that gross benefit amount. It's just a starting point. What truly defines your financial reality in retirement is the money you actually have left to spend each month. And that leaves us with one final, really critical question to consider. I want you to take a hard look at your own strategy and ask yourself, is my retirement plan built on the idea of gross income, or is it truly grounded in my net reality? What you have seen in this analysis is not a loophole, a trick, or a temporary administrative issue. It is the result of how Social Security was designed to interact with work, taxes, and retirement timing. And in 2026, those interactions matter more than ever. For many retirees, the mistake is not working itself. The mistake is working without understanding the earnings test, the wage base, and the tax consequences that apply once benefits have started. Social Security was never meant to function as a simple on-off switch. It is a system with conditions, thresholds, and adjustments that reward planning and penalize assumptions. The earnings test is a perfect example. Benefits withheld because of excess earnings are not lost forever, but they are lost when cash flow matters most. Rent, utilities, groceries, and medical costs are paid monthly, not retroactively. When benefits are withheld, the future adjustment does not solve the present problem. This creates stress and forces retirees to draw from savings or credit unnecessarily. The situation becomes more complex when payroll taxes are added to the equation. Working retirees continue to pay Social Security payroll taxes on earnings up to the wage base. In 2026, that base is higher, which means more income is exposed to taxation. The result is that some retirees work more and keep less than expected, even before benefit withholdings are considered. Taxes add another layer. Federal taxation of Social Security benefits depends on combined income, and new deductions for older taxpayers must be used correctly to be effective. State taxation, where it applies, further reduces net income. None of these elements operate in isolation. They compound. What makes this environment especially dangerous is that it does not announce itself. There is no letter that says, "Your planning assumptions are now wrong." There is only a smaller deposit, a missed expectation, and confusion about what changed. This is why retirement in 2026 requires a different mindset. It is no longer enough to know your benefit amount. You must understand how your behavior interacts with the system. Claiming early, working part-time, crossing income thresholds, or ignoring tax planning can all have consequences that show up quietly but consistently. Looking forward, there is little reason to believe these dynamics will disappear. Demographic pressure, system financing, and healthcare costs suggest that complexity, not simplicity, will define retirement income planning. Those who adapt will maintain control. Those who rely on outdated assumptions will feel squeezed. The goal is not to avoid work, avoid income, or fear the system. The goal is to engage with it intelligently,
Know the limits. Know the thresholds. Plan your income deliberately. Retirement security today is not about what you earn. It is about what you keep and when you keep it.
Hello there. Are you currently navigating the complexities of retirement or perhaps rapidly approaching that significant life milestone? The Retiree's Handbook is your dedicated YouTube guide for all retirement and pension news right here in the United States. It's crucial to stay informed about your financial future. We cover understanding pension benefits and maximizing your Social Security, ensuring you have the knowledge you need. Our channel provides actionable financial tips for retirees, helping you confidently make the most of your golden years. Don't miss vital information that impacts your peace of mind. Join our growing community today. Thank you for watching. Your financial security in retirement is incredibly important, and we're here to help you every step. Please subscribe to the Retiree's Handbook channel to never miss our latest updates and valuable insights. Join our community for continuous support, future pension news, and helpful resources to empower your retirement journey.